Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Nvidia founder and CEO, Jensen Huang.
Guten Tag, Gamescom! The Nvidia RTX is a platform consisting of architecture and software and SDKs and libraries that allows us to combine different types of rendering technology into one unified and cohesive platform. Turing, the most advanced GPU we've ever done, 10 years in the making, the greatest leap since we created CUDA, and computer graphics will never be the same again. Inside Turing is 18.9 billion transistors. This GPU, this chip, is the second largest chip the world has ever made. So Turing is built for RTX. The first thing I showed you was originally ran at GDC was DGX with 4 volts, 55 milliseconds. 55 milliseconds, about 20 frames per second. And this is what Turing looks like. 1 Turing. So 4 volts in a DGX. This has never happened before. This has simply never happened before. Doing computer graphics, essentially a supercomputer replaced by 1 GPU within 1 generation. You guys want to see some games?
So what we did is we worked with Nixie's and IDOS Montreal to bring real-time ray-traced shadows to Shadow of the Tomb Raider. It's perfect.
And so the thing to look at right now with RTX off, you saw the crisp shadows up there, and you saw right here. This is really hard to do, and that's why they don't do it at all, which is dynamic lights and shadows.
These are dynamic point lights. They're really expensive to do in current rendering techniques because basically you have to cast shadows in every direction from the light. So let's put RTX to the test and have it just do it for us.
Aww. All right, what's up next?
Another blockbuster, and this time we have Metro Exodus by 4A Games.
Basically, the way light works is light is coming in from the outside through those windows. And of course, this part is lit directly. And the challenge here is that's an area light, and so we have to make sure that the shadows look right. However, that light doesn't stop there. That light bounces around this room, and it illuminates different parts of the scene, depending on how close they are to that particular light. And maybe in the creases and the corners, it's really super dark, but in other places, it's more light, and direct light, it's completely bright. And so lighting this room using traditional computer graphics lighting is just incredibly hard. And this is the perfect showcase for global illumination. Okay, let me show you. Assetto Corsa Competiziano, the reflection on the windshield. You guys know how screen space reflection works. If it's not on the screen, there's no way to take that image and reflect it onto the surface. And as a result, look at the glass on top. You see that car, you see the Ferrari up there? It's reflected on top. All of the rails all the way down are reflected. No errors, no weird banding, no weird distortions. You see this guy reflected from the other side. So when you go see it, he'll be moving, and everything will be dynamic. When the cars come through, you'll see all the reflections up and down this aisle of the cars with other cars, the cars over the window. Everything is going to be completely dynamic, and nothing had to be tweaked. Ray-traced reflections and ray-traced inter-reflections, it just works. You're going to see another game called Atomic Heart, and it's got wonderful reflections and refractions. Mirrors are curved mirrors. Nobody does that. It's impossible. Not for ray tracing. You get this area light underneath, casting that soft shadow for the robot behind it. Everything is physically based. All the materials are rendered beautifully. And so area lights, reflections of the scene that you can't see in the scene. So screen space just doesn't work. And yet everything just works here. You guys want to see an amazing game? I can't wait for this. This is probably one of my family's favorite games. We've been working together on implementing RTX into Battlefield 5.
So now if we look down in the ground with RTX on, we'll see the flame, we'll see the soldiers moving, We'll see everything. And now if I turn RTX off, we lose everything. We lose all the detail, all the context of what's happening in the scene. But with RTX on, you just get a much more cohesive image and a better understanding of what's happening around you. So one thing we also pay particularly much attention to in Battlefield is just the weapons, accuracy, making sure the smallest detail is correct. And you can see even there, the flames are reflecting properly in the wood of this gun here and in the windows in the back. And now if I turn RTX off again, you lose all this detail.
There are so many other RTX games coming your way. Developers all over the world are working hard on RTXing. We're going to have all kinds of amazing games coming your way. Well, I guess your question is this. What are you going to run it on? What are you going to run all these amazing games on? Well, let's show it to you. Ladies and gentlemen, 10 years in the making, the Geforce RTX 20 series. Computer graphics reinvented. The craftsmanship is unbelievable. This is the best design we have ever done. Everything from the voltage, the power regulation, and the thermal management system, it is designed for overclocking. Crazy amounts of overclocking. Not to mention, it is just so quiet. Even when you're maximum overclocked. At maximum overclock, it sounds like 1/5 the audio levels as a 1080 Ti. We're announcing 3 models today. The RTX 2070 with 6 gigaраys per second, 5 times that of a Titan X. 45 trillion RTX ops per second. 8 gigabyte frame buffer. RTX 2080, 8 gigaраys per second, 60 trillion RTX ops, about 6 times the performance of a Titan X for ray tracing, 8 gigabytes, and then the RTX 2080 Ti, 10 gigaраys, 78 trillion RTX ops, 11 gigabyte frame buffer, starting at $499. On shelf everywhere, September 20th.